Good morning everyone and welcome to the ION Video Showcase. My name is Finbar O'Hanlon. I am the original inventor and founder of the core technology behind ION. Today marks my first official communication since returning to help lead this company into its next chapter, and what an extraordinary chapter it is to be stepping back into. We are looking at a market opportunity today that is both real and unprecedented. Following the recent filing of our new patents, which build upon our original patents, we believe our intellectual property now is more valuable than at any other time in this history of this business. The IP that now solidifies our right to play in tackling this market opportunity. So today, you will not only understand where ION is headed, but you will see the technology in action. You will understand the problem we are solving for customers, for AI platforms, and for anyone whose value is driven by relevance and engagement. And you will see what we believe is the next evolution of video. You know, I've spent my whole life working in and around innovation, and I know that all meaningful innovation starts by solving a real unmet need. Today, I want to surface one of the largest unmet needs facing the future of content and show you how ION solves it. With that being said, I want to today do three things. First, help you clearly see the shape of the market and the unmet need by connecting the problem, the solution, and our role in the value chain into one coherent story. Second, I want to make it obvious where ION sits, who we enable, and why that matters. And third, I want to show you what we've built and what comes next. So, let's begin where every good innovation story should begin, with the unmet need. Every morning, billions of people wake up and open a video platform, not to watch, but to search. Up to 30% of people's time today is spent searching for something to watch. They're scrolling, hoping something relevant appears. Nearly half of all streaming viewers say it's getting harder to find the content that they want. Now, how is this possible when more than 700,000 hours of new video are uploaded to YouTube every single day, when there are a plethora of streaming platforms available? What is happening here? We are drowning in an ocean of video, but we're dying of thirst for relevance. This is not a content problem, it's a systems problem, and at the core of that system is video. Video now represents more than 80% of all global internet traffic. It is the dominant medium of our time, the largest repository of human knowledge, culture, and creativity ever assembled. And yet, in the age of artificial intelligence, video remains fundamentally inert, locked, sealed, opaque to intelligence. AI can write poetry, it can generate code, it can reason across complex problems. But video still exists as a finished artifact, not something intelligence can work with. That is why AI platforms cannot create shows for each individual on the planet in seconds. Not because they lack intelligence, but because video cannot be shaped dynamically. So we've talked about video. Let's talk about the opposite end of the spectrum, AI. As we all know, the AI revolution is not coming, it's already here. Every foundation model, every technology giant, every major platform is racing to build the next interface for human intent. Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, they are no longer competing on features, they're competing on being able to define what people expect technology to do for them. And the pace of this race is unprecedented. In just the last 6 months, AI agents have grown to now directly influence up to 20% of global e-commerce transactions. These are no longer tools that respond to prompts. They are agents that act on intent. They negotiate, they optimize, they transact, they create. AI is now becoming an intermediary, always on, operating in the background, shaping outcomes at scale. AI has learned how to work with images, with code, with workflows, but it still does not know how to work with video. Let's be clear about why. Rendered video was designed for a different era, a world where content was created once and consumed many times. It was optimized for playback, for compression and distribution. It was never designed to be reorganized, recomposed, or reasoned over by intelligent systems. Once a video is rendered, it becomes a sealed object, a file. AI can analyze video, it can label it, it can describe it, but it cannot build with it. To personalize video today, you must re-edit, re-render, duplicate files. That means cost, latency, rights complexity, and more. As AI shifts from responding to prompts to composing experiences, video becomes the bottleneck. Until the infrastructure changes, video remains incompatible with how intelligence now operates. The consequences are structural and growing. This constant re-editing and re-rendering introduces massive cost and massive delay. Storage and compute scale exponentially with each variation. Workflows fragment across production, delivery, and rights management. Content owners must replicate assets, weakening control and governance. And monetization remains locked to files, not to moments. In summary, AI can analyze video, but it cannot build with it. So what does the future look like? Well, a few weeks ago, Google made this explicit. They painted a vision of the future and their focus for Gemini, their large foundational model. They introduced personal intelligence to Gemini, a powerful signal to the market that multimodal AI is here to shape content around every individual. Gemini can now reason across email, photos, search, and YouTube. It understands context, it learns preferences. It is designed to make the world's information personally useful. But here's the moment of truth. Even with all that intelligence, even with ownership of YouTube, the world's largest video platform, Google still cannot assemble video. Gemini can analyze multiple videos, it can identify moments, it can extract timestamps, it can tell you exactly where something happens, but to actually create a personalized video experience, you still need an editor, a timeline, a render. That's not personal intelligence, that is legacy infrastructure wearing a new suit. And this is not a Google problem, this is a market-wide problem. Now, this is where Ion changes everything. Ion is not a platform, we're not a destination, we're not another video tool. Ion is infrastructure. We sit below artificial intelligence and the world's video platforms. We virtualize rendered video. We separate structure from samples, allowing video to be assembled dynamically without re-editing, without re-rendering, and without duplicating content. And so for the first time, AI can work with video the way it already works with language, as something addressable, composable, programmable. This collapses cost curves, it removes workflow friction, it preserves control for rights holders, and unlocks entirely new forms of personalization and monetization. We do not compete with platforms, we empower them. We do not define experiences, we make new experiences possible. Now, before we move on, I want to address our intellectual property. Ion's original patents established the breakthrough idea of virtualizing rendered video. Since then, the world has changed. AI is no longer analyzing content, it's assembling experiences. And to meet that shift, we have filed a new patent that extends and strengthens our original foundation for the AI era. This filing builds an additional layer of protection and priority that aligns our intellectual property with how intelligent systems will work with video over the next decades. I won't go into the details deliberately, but what matters is this. It materially strengthens our ability to operate with confidence, engage large platforms, and lead this new category safely and decisively as the market accelerates. Let's talk about who we enable. Our role in the value chain is precise. We enable hyperscalers and foundation model ecosystems to deliver intelligent video without rebuilding their stacks. We enable video platforms under pressure from relevance and cost to move from static libraries to dynamic experiences. We enable enterprise with high-value video libraries to unlock intelligence, personalization, and efficiency without compromising ownership. And ultimately, we enable viewers to experience true personal intelligence, where content is shaped around every individual. Ion does not replace anyone. We make everyone above us more valuable. So let's talk about what comes next. With the market need clear and our position defined, the next question is pretty obvious. What happens when this infrastructure becomes real? Well, that is what I want to show you next. I want to welcome you to the world's first prompt to virtual video interface. This is an interface that allows the world of video to shape around your or your agent's prompts. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give you a quick demonstration of how simple this is and how powerful it is. And then we're going to show you a little glimpse behind the scenes. So let's start with a very simple prompt. Knowing that the most requested types of content on YouTube, the biggest video platform in the world at the moment, is how-to videos. So let's think about cooking. I'm going to prompt something to do with how to cook. I'm going to do this with my voice. I'll kick the voice prompt on. Create a single video that teaches me how to cook the top 5 Asian recipes that I can make for under $15. And there goes the prompt. Okay, the prompt is in the system. Now the back end of the virtual video assembly engine is looking and judging the scenes using virtual video interrogation. It's matching the prompt to a manifest, and there it is. It's now successfully created a seamless video based on the prompt. It's found 11 valid scenes from 5 different source video files. When I click on it, I want you to notice the timeline down the bottom, which will indicate the 5 different elements of files that it's actually grabbed. Here we go. So here's the timeline. Let me pause that. There's file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5, and each one together. Now, if I jump forward, it's a completely different file. This is a fundamental transformation. No longer do you have to wait and watch through big files. You can have content assembled around you exactly what you want with a simple prompt. Okay, so let's now say that we want to further refine that. Let me give you the prompt, another prompt for this video. Show me the best vegan recipe. I want you to remove all dialogue and non-essential content and deliver a clean video showcasing just the cooking process and just the final dish. And there you go. There's the prompt now. It's talking to our assembly engine, and there we go, it's created it. Now what it's done is it's created a single video. You can see it's found 2 valid scenes from 1 single source file. What it's done is it's removed the dialogue and the non-essential content. We've shortened the video down to deliver an impact video only showing the cooking process and the final dish. Now if we click play, now let me pause that and we can scroll through. Now here is the second part of the video showing the final dish.
Green beans and garlic together.
So what you're seeing here is the ability to shape, edit and produce and orchestrate different types of content on the fly based on whatever you want out of the world, the trillions of hours of human-made content that's sitting on different networks all over the place. It also allows for a future where you wake up every day and AI agents are shaping content around your life. Now that's the presentation from the front end. That just shows you what the future looks like when an AI platform or a partner powers or partners with ION Video to utilize our technology in being the connective tissue between intelligence systems and video platforms. Let me show you the back end of how this actually really happens. We're going to take you to the console here. Now I've got a URL path in here. This would be a folder where you might have 10 million files, but this is a folder that you would connect to. Once you connect to a folder, it will look at all the files inside the folder. And this is in our back-end discovery and assembly engine, and we're now in our ingestion discovery process. So these are all the files that live in this folder, and these are the files that have already been virtualized. You can tell those ones because of their little green virtualization icon. Here is an original file. We can select that file and then click virtualize. Then on your right, you will see the virtualization process taking place. And that's how fast it takes for a movie to virtualize. Let's look at this one here. That's egg rice. How do we allow artificial intelligence to talk to these rendered files? As I mentioned, it's via the virtualization process. Now, if we look at both files here next to each other, this file, it might be hard for you to see, but this original file is 52 megabytes in size. Now the virtual file on the right is only 49 kilobytes in size. It's a fraction of its original size. With virtualization, a 2 gig movie can be transformed to under 100 kilobytes in size. Now imagine the difference in storage required and the transcoding. But what's important is the structure that lives beneath it. This is the internal DNA of the video file. This is the architecture. These are the components that we utilize in our virtual files. By virtualizing video, we enable intelligent systems like artificial intelligence to talk at a low level, at a sample level, which allows the bytes of the video, all the video samples, to be arranged and sequenced like Lego blocks in an order that comes up with a personalized video presentation. So whilst the world sees the front end of video, we're orchestrating in the back end of video. We treat video as data, not as video, and therefore that is how ION empowers these AI systems. So let's now proceed to the assemble process in our assembly engine. This is a very simple way where we can test the files that we've actually virtualized. So let's test them. I'll now give another voice prompt. From these videos, create a video of just the plating only. Okay, there's my prompt. It now judges the scenes and it's done. So now I can actually press play, and there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos of just plating. Let me go full screen.
Garlic green beans with rice and
This, guys, this is truly transformational what we're seeing here. This is just where we're starting though, but what we're doing is giving you a glimpse into the future. The bit that ION provides is the glue, the connective tissue between these intelligent systems and the world archives of old, massive amounts of trillions of hours of human-created content. This is just a crude demonstration, but when you imagine this at scale, with the speed that what we've been able to do and the desire to the market, with Google announcing personal intelligence, this is a plug-in technology like a Dolby that allows the world, allows all sorts of new levels of innovation. Our infrastructure that sits beneath these large foundation models or intelligent systems, connecting them to rendered video allows untold new levels of innovation that drives new customer experiences, new valuable propositions for content owners, and new levels of security. So in closing, many people have asked me, why have I returned now? I'm here because the timing is right. The people are right, and the alignment that did not exist before now does. This time, we're not trying to be everything. We're building the missing layer, the infrastructure that allows others to build. Every other major announcement about personal intelligence validates our story because it proves the world is moving toward its intent-driven experiences. And every one of those announcements exposes the same missing piece: programmable video. This is where ION lives. That is our right to play, and that is why this moment is different. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you especially for being part of the journey.
We're talking today to Finbar O'Hanlon, the new head of innovation at ION Video. Now, we've had some questions post your webinar and product launch, so let me ask some of those questions. In terms of timing, why is this the right time now for this infrastructure?
We have a world of artificial intelligence that's exploding. Everywhere you look, the market is going crazy. It's an arms race. The platforms are trying to find their unique advantage. You've got Anthropic with code, and you've got Google with their VO3 and their image. Everyone's trying to find their place of what innovations they're driving, which will drive customer engagement to utilize their platforms. So there's an arms race going on. On one side, the AI platforms are needing tools to innovate, to build new products and services for their customers that drive customers to utilize and subscribe to their AI models. On the other side of that, we've got this whole world consuming massive amounts of content that is designed by a producer to talk to an audience. It doesn't shape around an individual. So why it's the right time now is that we have these two worlds that are colliding. Intelligent systems can't talk to rendered video. Rendered video isn't relevant to an end user. Up to 30% of their time's wasted trying to find content that's relevant to them. So the time is right now. The big AI foundation models are looking for that advantage, for something, some infrastructure that they can build new innovative products and services. And what we are is we're not a platform, we're not some AI tool, we're an infrastructure layer that allows new forms of innovation by these models to now connect with consumers to drive personalization and relevance.
There's another question on that. You've said the video is still fundamentally locked inside files.
Yeah.
So Ion is that core infrastructure, if you like, and is that how it's unlocking video files, and why is that so important?
Okay, so think about it like this. Think about a book. A book as an object is a book, but inside a book are words and letters. Now, if the book could only be seen as the book by AI, it could only recommend the book. It couldn't pull phrases from inside the book and reassemble it. Video is like the book. It's a rendered file. It's the book. AI can't see inside it and can't pull parts out of the video. What we are is we're the language layer that allows the DNA. We're like forensic science. We've built this technology that allows AI to see inside the video and to reorchestrate and assemble new video experiences by giving them access to the words inside the book.
And there was another question on hyperscalers, like who are a hyperscaler? Who could use this technology, and could they replicate your technology?
Well, so the big foundation models, the hyperscalers, the big tech platforms that are all looking to anyone who's utilizing media, particularly video, to drive value through relevance are our customers. And when we say hyperscalers, they're the ones that are growing fast, that actually have a large footprint. There are so many applications for a business like this that, you know, we need to go to the companies who are the providers of the services to all the companies. So this is where this is where our core target is focused on, being the enabling technology, like the Dolby, the plug-in that allows them to build all these new technologies on top of.
And there was a follow-up question on that. So is that a case of letting someone else build a monetized paywall between their audience and your infrastructure?
Yes, absolutely. So we talk, I've just mentioned the value for a customer in building relevance. But I also want to explain another couple of value statements. Think about a content owner. Content owners now make a piece of content and they publish it out and they're hoping they'll get views or get traction or they'll sell that content. But what if you could make one piece of content, then you could have an AI agent in front of that, which is making smart contracts. So someone says, I want to pull out this bit of your content and this bit of your content. You can now monetize parts of your content without going and making new files. So now your whole monetization is driven by just smart commercial contracts that sit above your content. Secondly, your content never leaves in its entirety. So your security, your control, your governance, sovereign content, which needs to be onshore or on-prem, can all be managed because everything's virtual. Secondarily, if a player like an Elon Musk wanted to build a competitor to YouTube, essentially, you could build a whole platform without actually ingesting any content. No 700,000 hours a day. All you do is have these little virtual files, which are connectors back to content owners. So what it ends up doing is it changes the whole commercial structure of content, the relevance of content, and the control and access through these little tiny connections. And I make an analogy like Google Maps. Google Maps, you don't have the map often sitting on your device. It's a connection to a map based on where you currently are. It's filling in the map behind it. That's what virtual video is. So what we have is this technology layer, a thin client that connects the intelligent requests with the insides of other video files and provides a presentation. Now, you asked a question earlier, you know, can anyone else do this, or is anyone else doing this? We've had this patent a long, long time. We've had it listed in every country. And we've just filed a whole heap of new claims which suit this whole new world that we're stepping into. But those claims are built off the back of virtual video. In all my years of working in multiple different types of innovation in between the intersection of media and technology, I don't know of any other way to be able to unrender or be able to access the data inside the file than any other way than virtual video. So is it possible? Yes, it might be. But our patents cover the virtualization and the ability to refactor content. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty good standing.
And for those hyperscalers, is this a sort of a monetizing opportunity or a cost out opportunity or a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. It's an enabling technology. So if we provide a little tiny thing that has, let's say you've got Google Gemini and YouTube, both owned by Google. They don't talk together. Now let's say that you plug in this little plug-in in between the two. Now Google Gemini can talk to YouTube. How much value is given to Gemini by now the unlocking of the ability to talk to 82% of all internet traffic, which is video? How much is it worth to just the AI platform to be the only AI platform that now allows you to go and refactor video that no one else has? Is that a competitive advantage? What's that worth? That's one. Secondly, from a YouTube perspective, what does it look like if you can now connect to all the world's content without ingesting anything? From a cost to scale perspective, what does it look like if you now have an intelligence layer where the next level of YouTube can now dynamically shape content by agents to every single individual person on the planet? I don't know what that's worth, but I bet you bottom dollar that these hyperscalers, these big AI platforms, understand this problem, and they haven't solved it. Google announced their announcement, a couple of weeks ago about personal intelligence. They still don't have an answer. We have the answer.
And so why can AI kind of create a new video but still can't work with those trillions of hours of videos?
Yeah, so what AI does with video is you give it a prompt and it will make a video. It makes a file. Still makes a file. It's still a rendered file. And it takes tokens and takes time to create. It can't happen in seconds. And it doesn't go inside other people's content and rethread it. It creates based on what your prompt imagines a new thing. It's generative video. It's generating it. It's not going inside and pulling apart parts of human created content. So that's what we are. We're an orchestration layer. And so AI doesn't do that. You can't go to AI and say, go and find me the top car crashes of the Bathurst 1000 over the last 7 years and make it in 15 minutes. And the only way that it'll find that is if someone else has created it. AI can't create it, but with Ion, AI can create it.
And you spoke about video becoming usable data, and it's kind of probably our final question. What does that kind of unlock that simply wasn't possible before?
Well, if we think about this, think about advertising, just one use case. The amount of money that Google makes off YouTube off advertising is by placing ads relevant to content. What if the content, every frame of that content is relevant to an individual? How much is the ad revenue increase? How much is the relevance driver? When you can assemble parts of pieces of content, reward the content creators, make the increased ad revenue, it's an exponential curve that offers from a monetization perspective. So the ability to be able to orchestrate and combine and assemble content where every frame of that content can have a reference point or a piece of metadata, an identifier, can relate to security, it can relate to advertising. There's so many new possibilities. This is why what we say is we're an enabler of innovation on the next generation of video. Whatever your vision of being able to assemble content, whether it's relevant to a user, whether it's selling advertising, whether it's changing the sovereign structure of content, whatever that is, by being able to assemble video like data enables a whole heap of new world of possibility. And we want to be that infrastructure layer that sits underneath the players that want to provide that end user. That's our business.
Finbar, that was a fascinating showcase webinar. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.